Here's the best settings and optimizations for Rust to boost FPS and also fix lag and the stuttering. So first let's go to options, and then in the gameplay section I have the field of view to 90. Some people like to have it 75. That's personal preference. And then head bob is disabled, and basically the rest doesn't matter except physics. Here I'd like to have max Gibbs at 0, and then creation effects disabled. For the user interface, I have it at 0.6, the scale. And then for the audio, I have the music disabled and the events and the instruments. For the screen, I have my screen native resolution, and the mode is always full screen because it significantly gives better performance. And then I'd like to disable the VSync and the FPS limit set to 0 for FPS for a limited FPS in the game. And then I'd like to limit the FPS in the background and in the menu because we don't really need that much performance. Background means when you're basically having something else open on top of the game, maybe you're watching YouTube or something. So this will limit the performance because the game is not focused and we don't not really need the extra performance. So for the graphics rendering section, I'd like to have the scale at 1, but this depends on your PC. You can lower it to 0.7 if your PC is mid-tier PC. And then for the NVIDIA DLSS max performance, DLAA is off, global rendering is off, and the global render distance is 300. You can increase to 500 to 600, depends on your PC. For the draw distance to maxed out, and then parallax mapping and water quality and reflection all to 0. Grass displacement on, grass shadows off, NVIDIA Flex mode to on plus boost, NVIDIA Flex latency marker to off, soft particles to 0, and then pixel light count to 0, and particle raycast budget to 4, load bias to 3.5. You can increase to 5 if you have a good PC. And then textures, the map maps to half resolution, filtering mode to all textures, filtering level to 16, texture map streaming off, and then map memory to 64, which is the minimum, shadows quality to 1, and then resolution shadow mask, the shadow mask mode to shadow mask, resolution medium, and cascades to 2 instead of none, max distance percentage to 4 or 5, and then max shadow lights to 0. And then for the mesh quality, particle quality to 50, object quality 100, and then tree quality 100, max tree mesh to 50, and then for the rest at 0. For the image effects, I'd like to disable everything except sharpen and vignetting, and then hurt lighting only on. For the experimental, the occlusion calling off, contact shadows off, sustain pedal support to off, automatic process affinity enabled to on, optimized loading set to partial instead of off, and then the GC buffer I'd like to have a low value such as 256 megabytes, which means this will check periodically. The GC will check periodically in the game, and it will free any memory that is no longer used by the game if the GC exceeds this value here, which means the game will use as little RAM as possible, unlike having it too high, which means the game will consume a lot more RAM before it actually makes it free again. So I'd like to have it low, and that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.